Students and teachers from 42 area high schools were able to attend a special matinee performance of the hit Broadway musical Hamilton last week. We can learn more about that from producer Lara Hamdan.
With the high demand of people wanting to watch Hamilton, show tickets are now selling for hundreds of dollars, making it inaccessible for many to see. But the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History created the Hamilton Education Program, also known as EduHam, which includes the opportunity for some students to see the musical for only $10. As part of the program, 3 students from McClure North High School in Florissant were among the 35 select students chosen to perform original songs in front of nearly 4,000 people at the Fox Theater in St. Louis, including the touring cast of the musical. Amy DiCristina is the manager of the EduHam program. She said the project aims to reach 250,000 high school students across the nation who are generally from lower-income areas.
And the main goal is really to, I would say it's twofold, to open up access to the musical Hamilton and allow students who maybe have never experienced live theater before or who may never be able to have access to this show in particular to be able to get them to have access, but also while at the same time doing an in-depth study of the history of the show. So all of the students do research projects in their classrooms before they see the show, so that they can really understand what they are about to experience.
Hamilton by Lin-Manuel Miranda tells the story of American founding father Alexander Hamilton, a European immigrant born in the West Indies who later became the nation's first Treasury Secretary. McClure North student Dylan Bozeman didn't have the chance to take a history class as a senior this year, but would get glimpses of the EduHam lessons from the class next door.
Every time I go into my computer business class, all I can hear is everyone bursting out, satisfied, and the election of 1800. And I know that that's the social studies teacher next door. And I hear all of their discussions, and they have group projects and write papers over. And it's nice to see them implementing real, history into their class, just not from a textbook, but also from a musical standpoint.
The class Bozeman referred to is called American Studies. It's taught by social studies teacher Adam Bender.
I need everybody's attention for a minute, so this is what I would like.
He gave an example of the various class exercises the EduHam program provides.
It taught you or gave you an opportunity to learn how to break down primary sources. It gave you 2 examples of primary sources and then showed you how Lin-Manuel Miranda created a song for Hamilton off of those 2 performance pieces. And then what our students had to do was research and find a primary source from that era, from the Revolutionary era, founding era, and create their own original performance piece kind of in the same style of what Lin-Manuel Miranda did for Hamilton.
Back at the Fox, Bozeman performed alongside classmates Peyton Woodruff and Deja Slater. They drew inspiration from Thomas Paine, also one of the nation's founding fathers.
Actually, Dylan, originally he played all of the music, like the MP3 that we use today is him playing the piano.
Yeah. Thomas Paine? Common sense. Common sense, this makes no sense.
So he kind of did that, and we were putting our lyrics that we had to it, and
kind of vibe together in the end.
Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine. Let me tell you something about Thomas Paine. He fought for men's rights so we wouldn't go down in vain. He fought for independence and he freed us from Great Britain's reign. He wrote a little thing called Common Sense. He told us that we should be free, and it made a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember something like that.
The next day in his class, Bender reflected on the performances at the Fox.
What did you guys think of performance pieces by the students yesterday?
It was so good. I want to go. It was so good. I did not expect St. Louis to have that much talent, but they did.
Any particular piece? I know they enjoyed watching Hamilton, but I was surprised and really happy that they enjoyed watching all the student performances, not just our schools, but all the schools, and they really were very receptive to it and talked about how this one really stood out, and so I thought that was great that they enjoyed seeing their peers up on stage.
DiCristina of Gilder Lehrman said the student performers in St. Louis were among the best she's ever seen.
I gotta say, as somebody who's been to every EduHam in almost every city, the St. Louis students were some of the most strong student performances we've ever had in any city. They were extremely historically accurate and covering a wide range of topics. A lot of times in cities, we might have, 5 or 6 schools all submit things about the Boston Tea Party, but here we had a wider range of different topics. And the student performers were very confident and strong, and it was clear that they had done their research, and we just really were super impressed by St. Louis.
After the student performances, the Hamilton cast members did a Q&A. Slater said seeing the cast's diverse ethnicities represented assures her that now, as a young black woman, there are more acting opportunities ahead.
You know how the actors said earlier in the show when we got the Q&A, how it doesn't, especially being like an actress and going into that in college, knowing that there's musicals out there and they're broadening out to where it doesn't matter what you look like, it matters how good you portray that character. And that's good nowadays, because a lot of the time in TV you can see directors who will pass your headshot to the side just because you don't look like exactly what they're picturing in their head. And sometimes they can ignore, let me look at this as a whole, like anybody could play this character.
After the Q&A, Slater, Woodruff, and Bozeman then got to watch the play with their peers. The musical tells Hamilton's tale through comedy and tragedy with musical fusions of hip-hop, jazz, rap, R&B, and Broadway. Woodruff and Bozeman said they appreciate Miranda's modern take on the play.
I think one of the greatest things about the show is that it's a view on history, but it's told by people right now, presently, and how America looks right now.
I love the fact that culturally and racially this story it's told from a standpoint that we know to be one-sided, but the way they tell it makes it so diverse that you just can't help but draw yourself into it. And it's like they address all of the elephants in the room. Well, this character is this color, but he's portrayed as a character that's this color. And I like that they do that because you take all of the lessons that were in the past, and when you tell them from that standpoint, it opens someone's eyes where they may have been closed before. And also, when you hear the music, it's, oh my God, you're so drawn into it.
There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the poor. They pull up in their carriages and gawk at the students in the common just to watch them talk. Take Philip Schuyler, the man is...
Bender, a McClure North graduate himself, said opportunities like EduHam help students appreciate and treasure their time in high school.
I mean, my favorite thing is I love seeing our students get great opportunities and enjoy their high school experience. Like, I was very fortunate in that I had a great high school experience, and I just want to see our students get those same opportunities. And so for me, like, the reward is always watching our students become enthralled with education, enjoy their high school experience, and hopefully something that sticks with them and continues on.
The students said they'll cherish this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and hope to see the play again.
That was Lara Hamdan reporting.
Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.